So today I have an exciting message. Cheers. I'm going to be, I got my hyssop in. I had ordered some because of the dreams I've been having. And so I want to go back through them, their rapture dreams. But before I begin, let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Wendy. I have I've done many edits on reinterpreting the Bible. My version of the Bible is Sword of the Spirit. I have written the book God's Master Plan for the Masses. I self-published it in 2000. And it talks about celestial events that took place over the United States, kind of as God's way of saying, hey, this time period that we are in is very important because God used the path of 3 eclipses to write his Paleo-Hebrew signature over the United States, the Aleph Tav. Okay? The Aleph Tav is the beginning and end. He's the beginning and end. Okay? So anyway, that's a little bit about me. I have another book coming out. It's scheduled for release on September 21st, later this month, during the eclipse that is over New Zealand and through the South Pacific. And that book is available on Amazon for pre-order. You can find links down in the description box. So anyway, my rapture dreams. Now, everyone has been talking about all these rapture dreams that people are having right now. And I had the only rapture dream I had up until earlier this week was several years ago. Okay, and I'm going to start. This video is going to be called Connecting the Dots, all right? So, several years ago, I had a rapture dream where I was out in the ocean with a bunch of people, all right? And the water only came up mid-thigh, not even mid-thigh, like knee-high, okay? Knee-high. And we were all waiting for an event to happen, for, Jesus to return. And so we were all looking up in the sky, every one of us looking up at the sky. And then there was like this knowing, I can't remember if it was a trumpet sound or something, but it was like here it comes, here it comes. And we all focused in on one area up in the sky. And it was like a little dot. And that little dot turned into, had like a shooting star would have, like the tail. And it was going straight down, like a comet hitting, all right? Or maybe a nuclear bomb or something, okay? But that's what we saw. We were all waiting for Jesus, but we saw destruction coming, all right? And I turned to my son, who was on my right. I'm giving the whole dream. I turned to my son, and I told him not to look because it would destroy his eyes. All right? I knew that there was going to be a big flash. And even though I didn't see that in the dream, I knew that that was what was going to happen, a big flash, and that he needed to be careful for his eyes, to protect his eyes. So that was the rapture dream I had. I specifically asked God to give me a rapture dream, and that is what he gave me. So I have had many other kind of rapture dreams over the years. I'll give you an example. I was on the streets. This is a dream. I was in the streets of like San Francisco or something. Okay, there was rolling hills, and I saw. I was with Jesus, and we were ministering, and I was teaching people, and Jesus was with me, and we were doing discipleship type teachings. And I saw Jesus pointed it to my attention. He's like, look over there. And there were hot air balloons going up into the atmosphere. And so that was, and I was looking at I mean, there were thousands of hot air balloons going up. And I knew that this was some sort of a rapture dream. I didn't understand it, but it was one of the many clues, okay? So it's talking about ascension, not the traditional idea that a lot of Christian churches teach about, okay? But it is ascension. And after this, so that's pretty much it. Those were several years ago. Now, because the rapture has become such a hot topic recently, I have gone ahead and made. I asked God to give me another dream, and He did. And in that dream, it was I saw a. I was in a house with lots of children. They were my children, and some of them weren't even my children that were in this house, but I felt like I needed to leave that house and go on some kind of a trip, an act of faith in God, a leap of faith in God type trip. And I was concerned that the children in my house with my husband, and even though I do not have a husband, in this dream I did, he was a blur to me. I was not allowed to see him. But we were communicating with one another, this blur and I. And so I saw, we were going to go on this trip together, and he told me his concern about one of the children being left unattended, and his name means the spirit of hell, okay? That's what it means. That's what it means, okay? So I'm not going to say the name because I actually know this person in real life. We went to school with each other, but him individually, he's a wonderful person. He is not the one that he represents. He symbolizes. My dreams have symbolism, and God uses names, okay? So there is a trace element of hell that my husband was concerned about. All right, I will tell you this part. His first name is Paul, okay? Paul means little, it means humble, but in Hebrew, it has the same consonants as the word for Shaul, hell, okay? So, and if that house represents the church, and all the children in it are the children of the bridegroom, of the bride chamber, right? Are the children of the bride chamber, because my dreams are symbolic. So if all those children are the children of the bride chamber, my husband was concerned about the spirit of Paul and his influence on the church, okay? I'm just telling the truth. That's what the dream represents, okay? So we left and we went, why? Let me go ahead and just spit this out. Why would God be concerned, or excuse me, my husband be concerned about the spirit of Paul in the church? And it's because the teachings of Paul have led many to disobey the commands of God, all right? For instance, we don't honor the Sabbath. Why? Because Paul made it look like it wasn't important. Okay, there's an example. Another example is people eat pork. Why? Because Paul made it seem like it wasn't important. Okay? And yet these were commandments of God, and Paul's influence has been very negative on the church. All right, so my husband and I left and we went to New Mexico. And while there, now we went on complete faith, all right, no money, no nothing. And I was concerned, what are we going to eat? And I saw a field of purple flowers that were very tall and had like a almost like a corn cob purple flower on the top, okay? And I did not know what kind of flowers those were in my dream. When I woke up, I discovered what they are. So because these are symbolic dreams, Mexico means, the origin of Mexico means the moon. So the moon is very important. Today is a lunar eclipse. In 2 weeks, we're going to have a solar eclipse down in New Zealand, all right, in that area. Now, so we've got, that's one meaning of the name Mexico, and it also is related to in the belly, okay? In the belly. So we're talking about our gut. So there's something linked from our gut in connection with the moon, all right? So that's the hidden symbolism here. And so I was looking around at these flowers. I was concerned, what are we going to eat? And I was like, I know what we'll do. I had like a vision, and I saw a bunch of dried, that flour dried and in jars. So I said, we will just go ahead and eat this, all right? And when I woke up, I did a research on what kind of herbs had purple flowers, and I knew that this was a biblical dream. So the hyssop is, sorry, I thought there was a bug on me. The hyssop flower, I looked it up specifically, and it does have a long stalk with something like a corn cob at the top, all right? That looks like what I saw in the dream, and so hyssop is what it was. Now, I wanted to see if the plant was native to New Mexico. And although it grows in New Mexico, it is not native to New Mexico. However, something called giant hyssop is native to New Mexico, and it's a cousin of the original biblical hyssop, all right? So what is hyssop known for? Well, in the Bible, it is known for cleansing, all right? And in recent years, it has been very popular. People have learned that gut health is important for your body, all right? And so this biblically, it is known for cleansing, and biologically, it is good for your gut health. So anyway, after this dream, I bought some hyssop with the intention of having hyssop tea. Why? Because earlier this week, prior to this dream, I had another dream where I was outside of the house with an individual, and we turned on the water fountain, and I put a cup like this under the water spigot, and when I drank it, it was soap water. All right, so once again, we're talking about cleansing the gut. God was telling me the importance of cleansing the gut. Okay, so back to my New Mexico dream. So yes. Oh, by the way, I am doing that. My hyssop has come in. Back to this other dream in New Mexico. After I came to a conscious decision that I was going to eat hyssop, right? Suddenly, I saw something that looked like the aftermath of something explosive hitting the ground. Now, I didn't see a fire boom or anything like that. What I saw was, it looked like a small mushroom cloud, as if like a nuclear bomb, except for it wasn't a nuclear bomb. It wasn't that intense, but it was still the idea of what I had years ago, okay, where a group of us were out in the ocean looking up, and we saw something fall down, all right? And anyway, so when this happened, I saw that, and then I saw another event up in the sky. I saw like the earth had opened and something rose up about a couple hundred feet above the ground, And that person, hello, just a black cat, how you doing? And excuse me, and that was a spaceship that resembled Noah's Ark. All right. And so, anyway, Noah, what is that story? God brought the flood to do what? To cleanse the earth. All right? To cleanse it. We are a microcosm of the macrocosm. All right? And so, if the things that we do affect the outer world. So, God was instructing me to cleanse myself. Why? Well, because of some kind of a rapture event. Now, is it the traditional teaching of a rapture? No, you're not going to go to Sunday school and someone's going to tell you you need to cleanse your body so that you can be so that you can ascend. This is not a traditional teaching, all right? And yet, it's what God has been teaching me. So, anyway, after this dream, I had another dream that warned about the wolves in sheep's clothing. Okay? And so in that dream, I was working in a store and I looked on the lower shelf of an end cap. So, you know, the end caps of aisles, they have multiple shelves. I was looking on the lower one and I saw a skinned wolf from the shoulders to the head. It was skinned. It didn't have a skin because, see, this dream is exposing the wolves in sheep's clothing. That's what this store was doing. It's selling good information to the public. What do we consume? It's more. We consume more than just food. We consume knowledge and wisdom and understanding, and right. That's what we consume. So this store was selling the exposure of the wolves in sheep's clothing, the false teachings. Okay, so that was how the dream opened. As I was standing there, a man approached me, and he was trying to sell me a used record player that was very futuristic. It looked like something from the Jetsons or something, okay, that cartoon. But it was old technology about the future, all right? And he was holding it like this, and I saw the how the record could go round and round right here at chest level, all right? And for those of you who have knowledge beyond traditional biblical teachings, this is the heart center, and it's a spinning wheel, the chakra system, okay? The spinning chakra would be right there, okay? Anyway, so, oh, and also Brother Joshua recently taught, shared his vision where he saw Jesus. And if you don't know about Brother Joshua, he's all over the internet. Just Google him. His interviews are all over the internet talking about a rapture that's going to take place later this month, okay? So, and he said that he saw Jesus with a galaxy right there, okay? All right. So, my dream, I saw a man holding a record player, an old technology that was futuristic, but it was right here at chest level, and he was trying to sell it to me for more than what it was sold for on the shelf. So I was listening to his sales pitch, and then one of the cashiers hollered at me and said, "Don't buy that. If you want that, you can buy it new, brand new, on the shelf for $70 less." Okay, he was like trying to sell it to me for like 200 and something, and I could get it for $70 less if I bought it brand new. So I knew that this guy was a swindler. Okay, that's what this man represented. Okay, and so he yeah, have some popcorn. Have some popcorn. Anyway, he was a personification of that skinned wolf in sheep's clothing, okay? And because he was trying to sell me something uh, that is old, it's an old message. It's an old message, all right? And anyway, and so I told him I'm not interested. And so he goes to another woman who was in the store and which was trying to sell it to her. And I was like, I at the store. And I was like, you're not going to do this. I'm not going to let you swindle my customers. All right. Now remember, at the store, we teach the things that expose the wolves in sheep's clothing. That's what this whole room's about, right? So I go and I said, you need to get out of here. You need to get out of here now. And he didn't want to get out. He was backing up. He didn't just turn around and walk out. He was slowly backing away, but was watching me. And I said, get out. And I spoke with a lot of commands and authority. And I said, 1, just like a mother. 2, and he knew that if I got to 3, I was going to call the cops, okay? So anyway, which would have been like the spiritual police. So as he was leaving the store, he says, I know where you're parked. I know what you drive. I know where you're parked. So that was like a threat. Like he was going to meet me outside. All right. And anyway, as the dream continued, he was out of the store and I went to the dairy section. And the dairy section in this store, it had the backstock room where you can actually shelve the milk by pushing it forward from the backstock room, okay? And so anyway, so there in the front there was like the glass doors where you open the milk. Well, beside the dairy section was a door, was a door to go into the backstock room. And I took an accordion gate, one of those accordion ones, and I was trying to close that section off for some reason. And as I was doing this, there was a coworker that dashed in real quick. I mean, it was so quick, it was like a blur. It's like, whoa, where did you come from? All right. So let me explain the symbolism of this. The milk, all right, it's very nurturing. And I think there's passages that talks about how when you're a child, you drink the milk, right? And now we're not children or something like that. So remember, in my dream, my husband was concerned about the spirit of Paul, right? So Paul kind of talks down to the milk and it's like, hey, we don't need that anymore. We can eat real food, right? And so this is one of the reasons why a lot of Christian faiths, denominations, do not respect the Sabbath. They do not respect the dietary laws of the Old Testament, is because of the teachings of Paul, okay? Anyway, in this dream, I was closing off the milk. In other words, I wasn't going to let anything go in there to taint that milk, all right? It was still available to the public. I was closing it off to workers. And, but someone dashed in. And anyway, so also milk is connected to a mother aspect, okay? The mother aspect, like Mother Mary, all right? So anyway, as the dream continued and the store was, my shift was over or whatever, and I was going out to my vehicle, I noticed that it was very dark outside. And I, in my mind, I was like, oh man, that guy's out here waiting for me. I didn't know what to expect. But I went to my vehicle and it was an RV, okay? And in the RV, I found a baby, a little brown baby, like tan, like maybe Mexican or something. He was tan, okay? And he had a dirty diaper, and I changed his diaper. And then, because I was in an RV, we took a bath together, all right? And I washed him. And so what does that symbolize? Well, that wolf in sheep's clothing, right? There's a lot of people in the world that are giving their understanding of the rapture is old and outdated. That's what that old record player is, an old outdated message about the future. Okay? And but they still have good hearts. They still want to serve God. They just have an old outdated understanding about what the rapture is. And so this I that baby represented that man who was waiting for me, who knew what I was driving. Okay? And so there, to me, this is showing that there are a lot of people in the world who have an old understanding of the rapture who need to be cleansed. All right? As if by a mother. 1, 2, 3. Okay? We don't teach bad teachings here. We're teaching the real stuff. So anyway, here's the amazing thing. I had that dream on September 4th. I gave my live stream sharing this dream a few hours later. After that, I went to the store several hours later as I was coming out of the store, still on September 4th. As I was walking out of the store, I noticed I don't know how it comes on your side, but to my right, I noticed the sun, and it was huge. It was huge. It was like a big glowing orange in the sky, okay? And because there was like a haze in the air, I could see it. It didn't hurt my eyes at all to look at directly at the sun, and it was huge, and it was orange, and it was beautiful, and it had a glow to it that was just dynamic, or just beautiful. So I saw that to my right. Then I was like, I for some reason my attention was drawn to my left, and I saw the moon, and the moon was almost full. It was just a little bit was not there. All right, probably like 20% of the moon was not there because this is September 4th. Today is the full moon. We're on September 7th. Okay, so anyway, I looked at the moon. So I looked at the sun, I looked at the moon, and then I looked straight forward, and walking towards me was a white wolf. No joke, I took pictures of it. Okay, I took pictures of that white wolf, and you can find that on the live post that I shared on September 5th. Okay, where the wolf approached me, and then, but it was very friendly to me. So yes, it represents the wolf in sheep's clothing, right? That was friendly to me. So this is showing me that a lot of preachers and people out there that are teaching the false understanding of the rapture are going to become receptive towards me. Now here's the interesting thing. This was not a wild wolf. It was an Arctic wolf, and Arctic wolves, they are somewhat domesticated because, and they have dog-like features because they had mixed with dogs hundreds of years ago, okay? And so Arctic wolves do have dog-type features. And anyway, and that's what this was, and it was very friendly. After it sniffed me, it went around and started interacting with other people, okay? And then the owner of it came running across the street towards where I was at to retrieve her wolf. All right, and she was. We talked, and it was amazing what she told me about the wolf, because what I shared on September 4th was a passage from Luke about how, like in the days of Noah, okay? Because why? Why did I share that passage? Because I saw a spaceship that looked like Noah's ship, only it was a spaceship. Excuse all the noise. Anyway, so as this I lost my train of thought because of that motorcycle was so loud. So anyway, as the back to the wolf. That's what I was talking about. Yes. So this wolf's name was Luke, like that passage. Where what kind of a wolf was it? It was an Arctic wolf. What did I see? I saw a spaceship like an ark. Okay? Are you seeing the connections here? Pretty fascinating, right? So then, when I was talking with the owner, we were walking together, and she was parked across the street from the store, right by where my vehicle was parked. Now remember, in the dream, he says, I know what you're driving, and I was expecting for him to be waiting for me out there by my vehicle, right? And that is where they were parked, right by my vehicle. Now, I was not driving a normal vehicle. I wasn't driving an RV like in my dream. I was driving the Windjammer. And if you don't know what the Windjammer is, it is the van that I converted into like a traveling camper. Earlier this year, I traveled through a few states in the Windjammer, and I was doing some ministry, okay, from state to state. And that's what I drove. It's not an RV. It doesn't have a bath in it, but that is what I was driving, and that is that particular day, and that is what the wolf in real life was right by. All right. The interesting thing is, so this store has two parking lots. One that's up near the store, and one that is across the street. My vehicle and the other vehicle were the only two vehicles in that parking lot across the street. All right, my van and that wolf. So, what is the likelihood of that? Right? That is an amazing synchronicity that God wants me to get my message out. Now, so the rapture idea is a lot different than what a lot of people know. And tea. I'm drinking tea. I'm cleansing my body. It's to cleanse your body in preparation for the rapture. Now, in my book, God's Master Plan for Salvation, I actually talk about why this is important to cleanse your body. There are several passages in the Bible that talks about, for instance, Jesus rose on the third day, right? He rose on the third day. He ascended. Okay, well, guess what? That idea, the concept of being risen, of resurrecting, it's not new. Biblically, it's not new to just Jesus, Yeshua. It is actually it's patterned after many things in the Old Testament. For example, there's a passage in, I believe it's Samuel. I don't know where it's at, but where Jonathan and David are together, and Jonathan's father, King Paul, hello. Saul is Paul. It's the same name. One is Hebrew, one is Greek. Same name. Okay. Anyway, and Saul, King Saul, was after David, right? And he and David knew this intuitively, so he hid from going to the new moon feast. Okay, it's a Hebrew tradition, and he hid for 2 days, but then he was going to come out of hiding on the third day. So in an essence, he was resurrecting on the third day. Hidden for 2, resurrecting on the third. All right? And so, and anyway, again, there are many passages in the Bible that talk about the 3 days. Like, for instance, the 3 days of darkness, right? Which, if you are outside when the moon is new, it's not just new and dark it's actually dark for about 3 days, about 2.5 days. All right, it's dark for that long, and then a sliver of light is seen. Well, guess what? Everyone is so concerned about the upcoming Feast of Trumpets because um, because there is that's when this rapture is supposed to happen. That is saying is going to happen. Okay, but are you preparing for it? And are you prepared to receive something that isn't necessarily a savior coming to take you to a different planet? Right? Are you preparing for this? So, in the book of, I believe it was Joshua. Yeah, Joshua. Um, Joshua was told to prepare for 3 days before crossing the Jordan River and entering into the promised land. 3 days. Okay? There is some deep symbolism to that story. Number one, Joshua, its root name is the same root as Yehoshua, Joshua, Yehoshua, as Jesus. So what we're seeing here, because Jesus said what? That he would rise on the third day. Well, on the third day, Joshua, look it up. Jesus and Joshua, they have the same root name. Okay? Jesus is an American version of that name. It goes through several, it hopped over through several different cultures before it ultimately became the name of Jesus. Originally, it was Yehoshua, and and um, and even that isn't his original name. Moses gave him that name. Okay, so but that's the origins of the name, and it was him who led the people into the promised land. He was told to prepare for 3 days. He went over, and what did they do? They went up to Jericho. What is Jericho known for? It is known for the walls crumbling down. Okay? So, what are these walls? They are barriers. All right? They're barriers. And, what is a barrier? There are things that physically keep us apart from others, and then there are mental barriers. You know, here's an example. Just an example. What is preventing a man from going up to a woman and that he's attracted to and introducing himself? There's some kind of a mental block, right? So barriers can be many things. If we are a microcosm of the macrocosm, we ourselves have barriers. And so what can break those barriers? Right? I don't know what your personal barriers are, or my personal barriers. I do know my personal barriers. I don't know what your personal barriers are, but we all have blocks. There are mental blocks, spiritual blocks, physical blocks, walls that prevent us from what? Entering the promised land. Okay? So anyway, but he was told to prepare. To prepare. All right? And the importance of gut health. It's very important. Now, I go into detail about this in my upcoming book, God's Master Plan for Salvation. Okay? And if you want to check that out, it is available for pre-order. It's going to be released during the eclipse, at the eclipse on September 21st, later this month. All right, and I go into detail about the preparation. Okay, so I'm preparing both my mind, body, and spirit. All right, see the Trinity, right? We got the mind, we got the body, and then we got the spirit. You got to prepare it all. Body too. So what am I preparing? I'm preparing my body by cleansing it. Okay. So, I think that's, I've been going for 40 minutes. I think that's long enough. If you want to know more about this, get my book, God's Master Plan for Salvation, okay? The rapture this year is going to be very powerful. You need to prepare mind, body, and spirit. Right now, we are in the 9th month. We're approaching the 9th day of the 9th month on the 9-year. What do you mean by that? Well, it's 2025. So 2025, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 is 9. So that is 999. Before there is a new anything, like if you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then what happens next? You get the next deca, okay? The next deca, whatever. The next, it starts with 1 again, all right? So you build up to start over with something, but not at the same level, at a higher level of understanding, if you intentionally do it. If that's your intentions, if you want to improve, right, and you put real intent behind it, then you can break down the barriers in your life. And so right now, people can break down those barriers with intention. It's going to be there's a mass collective consciousness out in the world that are trying to break down their personal barriers, the things that are holding them back, so that they can ascend, go up that next decky, right? 11, 12, 13, 21, 22, 23, 31, 30. All right, what level are you on? Okay, so that you can go up to the next level and break through what? The next barrier as you rapture up. Okay, rapture up. It's a mind thing. What is your understanding? Is your understanding low and base? Well, rapture up. Hello. Are your emotions? Are you constantly in a state of depression to where you can't do some of the things that you have always wanted to do? Okay, time to break those barriers. Rapture up. Accomplish those that to-do list that you want for your life, right? Accomplish it. Break down those barriers. That is being raptured. Living your life to its fullest, doing the things that you want to do, and breaking through those barriers that are preventing you from living a full life. All right. My name is Wendy. I'm going to go ahead and close it here. Yes, please pre-order. Hey, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to watch more videos like this on how you can improve yourself, right, and improve your life, be sure to subscribe. And there's a lot of fear right now. People are scared because of the how old am I? How old do you think I am? Let's answer that. How old do you think I am? Anyway, yes, subscribe. Get this message out, because there's a lot of people right now who are afraid. Living in fear is not a healthy behavior. Okay? So step out of the fear, break through those. Aw, 34, that's so sweet. No, I am 49. And yes, I'm 49. So thank you so much. Anyway, there's a powerful number in the 49 is a powerful biblical number. You know that? It's before you have 7 weeks, or excuse me, 7 years, right? 7 Shemitas. 7 times 7 is 49. And then you have the Jubilee. Okay? The Jubilee is a sense of freedom and being raptured. It's not a physical rapture. It's a state of mind, and it's also your body. Okay, but we're not going to a different planet. Okay, not to a different planet. We create our own planet. What world do you want to live in? Do you want to live in a world that you are limited and not fulfilling your life's ambitions, okay, then, or have you raptured and now you've broken through all your barriers and you can now freely live the life you wanted to? All right. So, anyway, uh, that's it for today. Please subscribe, please share, please comment, please hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to do your cleanse. And my name is Wendy. We're all living in the winds of change. Bye-bye.